Hey, coin collectors and casual hoarders. Have you ever stared at a penny and thought, this could be worth a fortune? No? Well, after this video, you might just start looking at your loose change a little differently. I mean, who doesn't want to make $1.8 million from a single penny, right? Today, we're diving into a penny that's doing the unthinkable, getting people rich. The 1968 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, which right now could potentially be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard me right. That tiny little copper coin you find in your pocket could have you living large if you know what to look for. But before we get all excited about your newfound fortune, let me tell you a little personal story. I was once sifting through some old pennies my grandmother had saved over the years. My grandma had this giant jar of coins, tons of old pennies. She always told me, if you find something special, you're gonna be rich. Of course, 8-year-old me wasn't listening, too busy trying to figure out how to make an actual treasure map. But you know what? A few years later, I stumbled upon a coin that turned out to be worth hundreds of dollars. I felt like a kid who had just won the lottery. So, if you're ever curious about those pennies sitting at the bottom of your change jar, check them. You never know when you'll stumble upon your own gold mine. Or should I say, copper mine? Grinning face with smiling eyes, alright, let's get into the good stuff. The 1968 D. Lincoln penny, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be your ticket to a fortune. The 1968 D penny isn't exactly something you'll find every day, and here's why: it's rare. Now, when we talk about rare coins, we're not just talking about any random penny from the past. What makes this one special? It's all about the D Mint mark. You see, the D stands for Denver Mint, where this penny was produced. The Denver Mint is famous for producing high-quality coins, but there's something unique about the way this penny was struck. Most of these pennies were made in huge quantities, which means they're not super rare. However, a small percentage of them have a subtle error: the doubled die. What is a doubled die? Great question. Essentially, it's when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, causing the image on the penny to appear doubled. So, instead of just Lincoln's head, you get a faint, shadow image next to it. This is the kind of thing that coin collectors absolutely lose their minds over, and if you find one, you're looking at some serious cash. And by serious, I mean $1.8 million. You can sell these babies for more than you would spend on your car, your house, or, heck, you could probably buy a small island and start your own coin museum. Desert Island money bag if you're sitting there thinking, okay, cool, but how do I find one of these rare pennies? Don't worry, I gotcha covered. It should be a D. If there's no mint mark, or it's something else, then sorry, you're looking at a regular penny. The main characteristic that makes this penny worth millions is the doubled die error. Look closely at the date and the Liberty lettering on the coin. If the letters look a little off or doubled, congratulations. You may have just found your ticket to coin collecting fame. The condition of your coin is super important. The higher the grade, the more valuable your penny. If it's all scratched up and worn, it won't fetch the big bucks, even if it has that doubled die. So, try to keep your pennies in good condition. Maybe use a little coin holder, or better yet, store it safely in your mom's old jewelry box. If she lets you, of course. Honestly, this coin isn't the most common penny on the block. It's rare, but not like hidden in a vault. Rare. You're not going to find one just walking around, but it's not impossible. There have been reports of collectors finding these elusive pennies, sometimes in their own collections or in change they've gotten from the bank. Imagine getting a penny from a vending machine and realizing you're holding a $1.8 million piece of history. Talk about a lucky snack break. So, the next time you're digging through your spare change, just remember, that penny in your pocket could be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm going to start searching through all my pennies right now. And I get it. Who wouldn't want to cash in on a rare coin? But here's the thing, coin collecting is not just about finding valuable pennies. It's about the journey, the thrill of the hunt, learning about coins, and maybe even discovering other treasures you never expected. If you want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot valuable pieces, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm posting tips, tricks, and all kinds of strategies to help you discover coins worth millions of dollars. You don't want to miss out on these secrets. Trust me, you might just find your next big payday in your pocket change. Party popper money with wings. 1970 with a D mint mark. Buckle up, folks, it's gonna be an epic ride. So stick around, because I've got a cool story at the end, and we'll go over how you can spot one of these bad boys in the wild. Alright, let's rewind for a second here. If you're just joining me, I'm talking about the 1970 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it's easy to dismiss it as just another coin you'll find in your pocket change or under your couch cushions. But no. This one's special, so let's break it down. The D Mint mark tells us this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. It was released in 1970, which means it's already a bit older than your average coin. But here's the kicker. While most 1970 D pennies are worth, well, a penny or two, there are a select few that have a serious premium attached to them. How much premium, you ask? $1.7 million worth. I know, mind-blowing, right? But you're probably wondering, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, here's the deal. It all comes down to a few key factors. First, we've got rarity. The 1970 D penny had a small production run of just over 2 billion coins. But a significant portion of them were poorly minted, meaning they're in bad shape. That's where the mint condition ones come in, the ones that survived the test of time, looking almost brand new. And guess what? These coins are harder to find than a unicorn at a circus. When one of these pristine 1970 D pennies hits the market, the bidding wars can get insane. There's a special set of collectors who are just looking for mint state pennies, and if you've got one, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Cut to a shot of you holding up a shiny penny with a smile. I remember when I first stumbled upon a similar looking penny in my old coin jar at home. I found it, thought it was a dud, and then tossed it aside. Big mistake. Huge. It wasn't until I started learning about rare coins that I realized the value of what I'd just overlooked. And let me tell you, I did some serious face-palming after I learned that lesson. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. The mint condition 1970 D penny is the real gem. What does that mean? Well, you're looking for a coin with no scratches, no signs of wear, and definitely no tarnish. It should look as if it was just minted yesterday, even though it's over 50 years old. When you're checking, make sure the details on Lincoln's face are sharp, and the date and mint mark are clearly visible. The better the condition, the more it's worth. Now, don't think you're gonna find this penny on every corner. There are only a few examples of perfect 1970 D pennies floating around out there. It's rare to find one in mint state, which is why those lucky enough to have one can sell it for millions. And guess what? That could be you, if you start digging through your old coin collection, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go over the steps you should take if you think you might have one of these rare pennies, just sitting around, waiting to be discovered. Take a close look at the date. Is it 1970? Good. Now check the mint mark. Does it have a D on it? Great, you're on the right track. If you find that mint mark, you might want to look at the coin a little bit closer. It's not just the mint mark that makes this penny valuable, but the quality as well. A penny that's been in circulation for 50 years may look rough, and that's okay. But a perfect one? That's gold. Next up, you've got to get your coin graded. You might be thinking, I don't need to pay for that. But trust me, it's worth the investment. If you're sitting on a $1.7 million penny, you'll want to know exactly what you've got in your hands before you try to sell it. There are professional coin graders who will assess the condition of your penny and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with 70 being mint condition. A coin that gets a 65 or higher is a good contender for big bucks. Okay, now that you've confirmed you've got a potential fortune, how do you sell it? Well, there are coin dealers, auctions, and even online platforms where you can sell these rare beauties. But if you're serious about getting top dollar, you might want to consider a professional auction house or a trusted coin dealer to ensure you're getting the best offer. Just remember, Selling a $1.7 million penny isn't like selling a used car. This is big time stuff. So do your homework and make sure you're dealing with a reputable seller. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who accidentally sells $1 million penny for $5. You'd be crying into your coffee for years. So, there you have it. Your 1970 D Lincoln penny could be worth $1.7 million, and now you know exactly what to look for. From checking that mint mark to getting your coin graded, these steps could help you unearth a hidden treasure in your pocket change. But remember, folks, it's all about condition, rarity, and timing. So, before you throw away those pennies, give them a second look. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss out on more tips to help you discover coins worth a fortune. And hey, if you've ever found a coin you thought was valuable, share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you stumbled upon a hidden treasure. Maybe we'll even do a coin hunting challenge. Who knows, your find could be the next big topic on the channel. 1979 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. A penny, you say? Well, sit tight, because this penny could be worth, drumroll, $1.60 million. Yes, you heard that right. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, this isn't one of those clickbait stories. Well, buckle up because we're diving into the crazy world of rare coins and how you could have one of them just chilling in your change jar. Spoiler alert, it's not just the 1979 D penny that's worth big bucks, but let's get into why this one is such a hot commodity. Alright, let's rewind a bit. Back in 1979, the US Mint made some pennies with a D mint mark. That's Denver, in case you're new to the coin world. But here's the twist. In that same year, the US Mint produced a limited number of Lincoln pennies that were, well, just a little bit special. How special, you ask? Well, $1 million special, to be exact. Let me break it down. Look at this beauty. Notice anything odd about it? Probably not, right? This penny looks like your everyday cent, but there's a slight imperfection that makes it stand out from the rest. You see, there were some major mishaps during the minting process that made certain 1979 D pennies more valuable than others. Some of these pennies ended up with a rare error, and that's where the magic happens. Now, not every 1979 D penny is going to make you a millionaire. The key is in those small imperfections and superb condition. We're talking about pennies that might have been struck with double dies or missing mint marks, making them worth way more than the 1 cent they were supposed to be. Imagine that. A mistake by the US Mint could turn into a payday. I don't know about you, but this reminds me of when I tried making pancakes as a kid. I got the mix all over the counter, burned half of them, and yet, somehow, the first one I made looked like a perfect circle. I swear it was a sign from the pancake gods. But if it were a coin, I'd be rich by now. But I digress. Okay, so now that we know there's a rare error involved, what about the value? Well, these 1979 D Lincoln pennies have been sold for anywhere between a few $100s to over $1 million. That's right, $1.60 million for a penny that's been sitting in your drawer or in that jar you never get around to emptying. Imagine you stumble across this in your collection, pull it out, get it authenticated, and boom! You're looking at a piece of US history. No big deal, right? Just another Tuesday. But seriously, for those of you sitting there thinking, but how do I even know if mine is worth anything? Well, here's what to look for. Look for the mint mark. If it's a 1979 D penny, that's a good start. If you see a different mint mark or no mint mark, keep looking. But remember, the error versions from Denver are the ones worth the big bucks. Check the condition. If your penny looks like it was used as a chew toy by a toddler, don't get your hopes up. It needs to be in great shape, like mint, pun intended, condition. That means no scratches, dings, or stains. Look for errors. The most valuable 1979 D pennies have something called a double die error. That means the image on the penny is slightly doubled, making it stand out. If you've got one of those, you might want to get it checked out. Double dies can bring in top dollar. Now, let's talk about where to sell it once you realize your penny is worth a fortune. You can start by heading to a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare coins. Or you can list it on auction sites where collectors are known to go bananas over these kinds of finds. Just remember, always get your coin authenticated before selling. Alright, now it's your turn. Time to go through that box of change, dig through those old jars, and check if you've got a 1979 D penny that could be worth a whole lot more than you ever imagined. I know what you're thinking. That's easy for you to say, but I'm not a coin expert. And hey, you don't need to be. Just look for those key details, and who knows? You might just strike it rich. But before you go running off to search for your own $1 million penny, here's the real secret to coin collecting: consistency. Make sure you're staying up to date on which coins are worth big bucks, and keep an eye out for those hidden gems that are just waiting for the right person to discover them. And hey, if you like this video and want more tips on which coins are worth more than you think, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next tip, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself holding a coin worth a fortune. 1984 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. And today, I'm going to break down why this penny could make you a millionaire. But before we dive into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you don't miss any of my upcoming coin tips and strategies. Trust me, you don't want to be the one left out when your pocket change turns into a fortune. Alright, let's get started. So, you're probably wondering, what makes this 1984 D Lincoln penny so special? I mean, it's just a regular penny, right? But let me tell you, this coin has something in common with that one friend you have. Looks perfectly normal, but has a hidden talent that blows your mind. The 1984 D penny isn't just an ordinary coin minted in Denver. It holds a super rare error, making it worth a fortune. You see, what sets this penny apart is its unique double die reverse. Basically, that means the reverse side of the coin, the side with Lincoln's memorial, has doubling. That's right, the text and details are doubled. But before you start checking every 1984 penny you have in your jar, there's a catch. Not every 1984 D penny has this error. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Finding a 1984 D penny with this error isn't like finding a dollar bill in your coat pocket. Nope, it's a needle in a haystack. We're talking about a very limited number of these pennies out there, and that's what makes them so rare and valuable. But here's the kicker: finding this penny might require a bit of patience. You see, back in the day, I used to spend hours going through rolls of pennies, and I thought I had the best luck ever when I found a 1971 wee penny. I was like, this is it. This is the big one. But as it turned out, it was worth maybe 50 cents. Not exactly the gold mine I was hoping for. However, the 1984 D double die penny. That's a different story. Those few coins that made it through the minting process with that error? Well, they're as rare as winning the lottery. Some of these have sold for $1.4 million. Yes, that's no typo. $1.4 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's awesome, but how do I find one? Great question. The first thing you need to do is examine your pennies carefully. You're not going to stumble upon $1 million coin if you're just casually tossing pennies into a jar. Nope, that's the amateur move. You need to look for that double die. When you zoom in on the reverse side of the coin, you should see the doubling, especially around the letters and numbers. If it's clear enough, you could have a real winner on your hands. Here's a little tip. The doubling on these pennies isn't the kind of thing you'll just spot, like a penny with a smudge. Nope, it's going to be sharp, pronounced, and obvious. We're talking about a serious error here, not some blurry, accidental smudge. And let's talk about grading for a second. A big factor in the value of this penny, besides the rare error, is the condition of the coin. If you've got a well-worn penny that's seen better days, it's going to be worth a lot less than one in excellent condition. In fact, one of these 1984 D double die pennies was graded MS65, which stands for mint state, and basically means the coin is in pristine condition. This is the kind of condition that allows this penny to fetch over $1 million. Alright, so you've found one of these shiny, air-filled pennies. What's next? You want to get it appraised. Don't just assume it's worth a fortune because it looks cool. Get a professional to grade it so you know exactly what you're working with. They'll determine if it's indeed a double die error and assess its value accordingly. So, here's the takeaway. The 1984 D Lincoln 1-cent penny with the double die error isn't just a penny, it's an investment, a treasure, a little piece of coin history that could make you a millionaire, if you find it. While most of us will probably never stumble upon one, my 1971 wheat penny isn't exactly funding my retirement, it's still worth taking a closer look at your change. You never know when a penny might turn into a jackpot. If you've learned something today, hit that like button, share this video with your coin collecting friends, and of course, subscribe to my channel for more tips on finding coins worth money, market strategies, and some stories of my own mistakes and wins in the world of coin hunting. 1988 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny could be sitting in your pocket right now, just waiting to make you rich. Now, before you check your couch cushions or your childhood piggy bank, let me tell you everything you need to know about this rare gem and why it could be your ticket to the big leagues. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be digging through your change like it's Black Friday at the coin store. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the 1988 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Sounds a little boring, right? It's just a penny after all. Who would have thought a little copper coin could be worth millions of dollars? Well, here's where the story gets interesting. You see, most pennies you come across are stamped with a mint mark, either a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But this particular penny? It's a little mystery coin, no mint mark at all. That little omission is what makes this coin worth so much money. You might be thinking, why does the mint mark matter? Well, let me tell you, it's all about rarity. So, how did this penny become so valuable? Well, back in 1988, some pennies were struck without the usual mint mark. Now, some of you may be thinking, who cares? It's just a mistake, right? Wrong. This mistake is the golden ticket of the penny world. In fact, only a small number of these no mint mark pennies were ever produced. And the fewer of them that exist, the more valuable they become. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these rare misprints. They're like the treasure chests of the coin world, and trust me, people are willing to pay big bucks to own one. Now, let's dig into the juicy details of how much one of these bad boys is worth. Right now, depending on its condition, and we're talking mint condition, so basically, it's almost brand new but really rare, a 1988 no mint mark penny can go for as much as $1.8 million. That's right. A single penny that you might have passed by at the grocery store could be worth more than a house in some parts of the country. But wait, there's more. The reason it's so valuable isn't just the rarity, it's the demand. There are collectors out there fighting over these pennies, and that pushes the price way up. It's like a bidding war on eBay, but with real money involved. Trust me, if you find one of these coins, you'll want to get it appraised ASAP. And here's where my personal story comes in. About that time I found a coin at the bottom of a jar that I thought was just a regular penny. I remember thinking, oh, it's just a penny, nothing special. Fast forward a couple of months, and I find out that coin, which I tossed around like it was no big deal, was worth more than my car. Don't make the same mistake I did. Check your pennies. Now, not every 1988 penny is going to be worth millions. It's all about the condition. And it's not just about being shiny. We're talking about no wear, no scratches, no discoloration. So, if you find one, treat it like a treasure. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't be like me and throw away potential gold just because it's a small, humble penny. Check your coins, people. That 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be sitting in your jar of loose change right now, just waiting to make you a millionaire. And hey, if you're new to the world of coin collecting or want to keep finding these hidden gems, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing even more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you discover coins that could be worth a fortune. You never know, the next video might just be your ticket to wealth. 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and get this, it could be worth a whopping $1.90 million. Yes, you heard that right, million with an M. Now I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? That's the price of a coffee. But trust me, This coin is one you're gonna want to keep your eyes on. So grab a snack, relax, and let's dive into this golden opportunity. Okay, so before you start running to your coin jar or diving under the couch cushions, let me just clarify. Finding a $1.9 million penny isn't as simple as checking your change after a trip to the grocery store. But here's the scoop on the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's causing such a buzz in the numismatic world. So, first things first, what the heck is a no-mint mark penny? Great question. You see, all US coins usually have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But the 2006 penny? It has no mint mark at all, making it a bit of a mystery. And as you can imagine, people love a good mystery, especially when it's tied to potential millions. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is this one so valuable? Well, here's the thing. In 2006, a small batch of pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark. This mistake was so rare that it immediately caught the eye of collectors, especially because it's from a year that's not typically known for rarities. Imagine this, folks. It's like you're walking around your local flea market, and you spot a scratched-up record from a band you've never heard of, but there's something about it. It's offbeat enough to catch your eye. You buy it for a few bucks, but when you get home, you realize that it's a limited edition press, and now it's worth thousands. That's exactly what happened with this penny. What seemed like just another everyday coin turned out to be a hidden gem, sitting there with its silent, no-mint mark mystery. Now, why does the 2006 no-mint mark penny command such an insane price? Well, because it's rare. And in the world of coins, rare is the golden ticket to the jackpot. The key here is scarcity, my friends. These pennies were never supposed to exist, and now they're worth a small fortune. Imagine walking into a thrift shop, finding that rare vinyl, and selling it for a whole lot more than you paid for it. The same principle applies here. But here's the catch. It's not just any 2006 penny without a mint mark that's worth big bucks. To make sure your coin is in that $1 million category, you've got to get it graded. Grading is basically a professional way of saying, hey, this coin is in mint condition, and it deserves to be treated like the treasure it is. So, if you've got a 2006 penny lying around in your drawer, and it's been through the washing machine a couple of times, you might want to keep looking. Those ones aren't getting you anywhere near the $1.9 million price tag. I learned this the hard way when I found a rare 1970s quarter in my mom's coin jar, which I was convinced was worth thousands. I got all excited, rushed to the nearest coin dealer, and the guy barely looked at it before saying, "It's worth about $1." $1? I was crushed. Moral of the story? Condition matters. If your penny's looking like it just went 10 rounds with a toddler, it might not make the cut. So, how do you go about selling your penny for millions? Well, first, you'll want to get it professionally graded, usually through organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. They'll assign it a grade and tell you if it's worthy of being auctioned off at some of the big-ticket coin auctions, where the crazy numbers come into play. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, but who's actually buying these pennies for millions? Well, it's not just random people off the street. Serious collectors, often those with deep pockets, are after these rare coins. Some of them are looking to complete specific collections, and others are banking on their investment for future profits. So, when it comes to selling, you'll want to do it in the right market. An auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers might be where you'll see that sweet $1.9 million figure. Just make sure to do your research and work with reputable professionals. So, here's the deal. If you've got a 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's in excellent condition, congratulations. You might be sitting on a small fortune. Just remember, coin collecting isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. There's a lot of patience, research, and grading involved. But hey, if you hit the jackpot, you'll be smiling all the way to the bank. If you want more tips on coins worth money or just enjoy hearing about hidden treasures, then smash that subscribe button. Seriously, you don't want to miss out on more of these crazy stories. And hey, who knows? Your next coin could be worth more than you think. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or a penny that turned out to be more valuable than you thought. Let's swap some stories.